I just changed a pirate's name to Pirate Shooting at Stiiv.
Fantastic.
You know, I've done all the damage I can do at this point.
Oh, that sounds like council stuff.
And this is like last minute. This is like last minute prep panic kind of stuff. And trying to make sure that I like have reviewed actually where we were and what was theoretically potentially things that could happen. So as to be prepared. But you know what? I figure now I'm physically, if not emotionally, prepared. How about you guys?
I am good to go.
I'm here.
When last we were with the Deception Force, you guys need a name.
The Decepticons.
Decepticons.
Oh no, someone's got them. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Last time you guys had just come off of destroying one of your nemesis. Someone you had taken a stern disliking to, named Spitfire Cardigan. Excuse me. Who seems to be the leader of a group of banditos. Everything you've heard, it sounds like they kind of operate, maybe unwillingly, out of Kurosawa, the halfling hamlet to the northwest of Saltmarsh. What was I going to say next? Oh, so you killed her. And then you started out last session rifling her body for things, as well as the 2 scouts that were with her who you killed. And you found a letter. And the letter was slightly like, it wasn't, it didn't have pictures to accompany to clarify the scope of what was discussed in the letter. So there was some confusion because there was talking about a contract terminating a captain. And there's a little bit of uncertainty as to whether or not the captain was actually Eleander Fireborn, who recently died in a mudslide that coincidentally happened at the same time as a raid on the local prison tower. Or if it was for one Captain Mars Lamond, who the last time you encountered was aboard a sinking ship many D&D sessions ago, but in game time probably like 3 weeks. Who you know was a smuggler and a slaver and probably not a very nice person. You also stole a deed for the house that you currently have ownership to that was believed haunted and that formerly belonged to an alchemist just outside of Saltmarsh proper. That house had smugglers operating in the basement, the caves underneath. Do caves count as a basement?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Suddenly my brain explodes with questions for the Saltmarsh real estate market. But maybe that's another session's issue. I'm already cracking myself up. The tequila's working.
What you would put on the sales slip as an unfinished basement.
Yes. But it's furnished. It's a furnished, unfinished basement.
Say that 3 times fast after a couple of tequilas.
I probably will if I have more tequila. By the end of the session, I will be saying that many times fast, but not successfully. What else? Oh, yeah, you found Mars Lamont's body in a cave because you were kind of dragging Stiiv, who did not feel very good. He had some owies. And you decided to rest in this cave that had an ancient shrine in it that allowed for safe and highly effective resting and healing. But while you were there, you found a big bag of fancy rice, which had been hinted, but when you were back at the prison, that the Silent Salamanders, Stiiv's old smuggling gang, had robbed in some job that they later got arrested for, but without their actual loot. So you seem to have found the stash of loot, as well as a body, a shroud. Now that also caused some confusion because back when you were at the prison, it sounded like the bandits had broken into the prison to steal Gellin Primewater's body, the former councilman, until he plummeted to his death under suspicious circumstances. You find this body that seemed to have been dumped in this cave, and it wasn't Gellin Primewater, it was Mars Lamond, and Mars Lamond seemed recently killed. So back to the confusion, it seems like there's some confusion as to whether or not the letter was referring to the death of this captain or Captain Eleander Fireborn. But, I'm just the dungeon master. I don't need to care about these subtle vagaries of the plot. So after that, what did you do? Oh! Shaefira had this really great plan that she was going to disguise herself as Spitfire Cardigan. and she went full method and took Spitfire Cardigan's cardigan and wore it. Stiiv posed as dead Captain Mars Lamond, slung over a donkey. And they went to connect with the bandits hanging out at Conch's Folly on the beach. A land bridge, possibly an isthmus, possibly some other form of land. And they found out. You found out that sound like they'd been stranded there. That the ship that was promised by the Bloodsails, people who are affiliated with that scab fellow, who you don't like either, and possibly the Emerald Claw, had abandoned the bandits to their fate and left them high and dry. So they're hanging out at Conch's Folly. A lot of them hiding in the bushes. Using her power of lying, Shaefira convinced 3 of the bandits to run off down the beach and scout for stragglers or danger or Bloodsails or something, whatever, just to get them out of the way. Kymir, meanwhile, hid in a bush with Dave, the imp that you have humanized, to kind of try to spy things out. And then in the course of the conversation, Shaefira located some missing objects that had been pickpocketed off of Stiiv and Kymir during the whole prison raid fiasco. So she got those back, put them on the donkey with the fake dead Stiiv, and then convinced someone named Philippa, who seems to be the Spitfire Cardigan's sister, and a bandit lieutenant to accompany her, that they would head back to Kurosawa, and she proceeded to split the party. What else? Yeah, she split the party, wandered off with them. They started making soup on the roadside, maybe in the middle of the road. Yeah, they dumped Stiiv's body on the beach, and he did really good at being dead. And and they left orders. Spitfire, or fake Spitfire, left orders for the bandits to kind of stay in the bushes and keep watch. And they were doing that when Stiiv decided to pretend that he was a reanimated zombie. At the exact same time that Kymir decided to cast, something Zephyr's?
Zephyr's Strike.
Zephyr's Strike spell on himself and go dashing forward to the body that had proceeded to act like a zombie on the beach. The bandits in the bushes rolled really well in their perception, and they immediately noticed the zombie and called to each other that, it's a zombie, shoot it. And I think that's where we left it. With like six bows and arrows or crossbows kind of pointed at Stiiv, the not really a zombie, but pulling it off totally. Halloween 2020 or Halloween 998. I guess it's not Halloween. Wait, what do we call it? It's Maybar Festival. Maybar Festival 998. That's what it is. And meanwhile, Shaefira is off making beans. With some baddies. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
That's it, really.
I mean, that was a word salad right there.
I think the important part was 6 bows and or crossbows aimed at Stiiv.
Yes. And I think I made a note about before this whole plan started out, Shaefira said, risk it for a biscuit. Which is pretty much what has happened. Yep.
Well, it's been well and truly risked, hasn't it?
Risk biscuits. That's what the situation is. So let's go to
Let's go to Bob with the weather.
With the weather. Actually, one of the bandits that Shaefira convinced to go run off down the beach was named Bob, so he might have something to say about the weather he's been scouting. No, let's first go back to Shaefira cooking beans by the roadside with 2 donkeys, the 2 surviving donkeys, and Lieutenant Blarg and Philippa Cardigan.
Okay.
Dr. Blag will remember this.
These beans sure are taking a long time.
So yeah, Shaefira's just sort of sat quiet, waiting for things to cook, and she's got an ear cocked to the area they've just left round the corner, just in case there's any ruckus that starts to happen.
I want you to make 2 rolls. One, a perception in the tower. And the second one, you can do it on the open, just a D20. Well, that's nice. That was your karma roll.
Oh.
Which would have determined had a random event happened at this moment. But no random event happens. Your beans, they're trying, the water's heating up slowly, as water tends to do when you're watching the pot. And that's what the 3 of you are doing. Philippa she pulls out a packet out of her pocket and a little sliver of something, and she wads it up and she sticks it in her mouth and starts to chew. And then you hear this smacking sound. And it may or may not be annoying.
It will be annoying.
Lieutenant Blarg, he pulls out a very short knife and a little piece of wood, and he starts to whittle. It looks like he's working on a dolphin.
Does he whistle while he whittles?
Otherwise, other than that persistent sound of smacking gum, you just hear a light breeze in ruffling the bushes, the crackle of the campfire in the middle of the road, and a few birds here and there. Meanwhile,
Okie
back at the beach.
No, that's okay. We can keep talking about
Stiiv
things.
and Kymir are in a clusterfuck. Dave is there, but he's invisible. He's
Don't
just,
sugarcoat it. Don't
just-
sugarcoat it for us.
Dave's just like, oh no. Nice knowing you guys. Maybe they're all bad shots. And then he's like, hopefully, well, maybe not too bad, because I don't want to get shot by like unfriendly fire. Did I already have you roll initiative?
I think you did because
I don't know.
Because I'm fairly sure I rolled crap. Yeah, 6.
I don't remember. I think it's only fair. You guys roll initiative again.
Okay.
I'm sure that will help a lot.
No.
Is that better or worse?
Slightly better.
Oh, look at Steve. Steve has an amazing initiative for a zombie.
That's because Steve just shit himself.
And while it's pretty good, he does not get to act before at least one other guy gets to. Oh, oops. Yeah, and I forgot to put a dude on the map. So one of the now you did kind of know the location of where all the dudes are on this beach, because Steve, while he's playing dead, he has unerringly accurate sense of perception, and he's able to pick out like exactly which bushes had some kind of bandit or scout hanging out in them. So when I say that, what I mean to say is he feels it coming. When one of the pirates ducks out of the bushes and shoots their crossbow at what appears to be a quite dangerous zombie in the middle of the isthmus. And it hits him with a dirty 20. Doing 5 damage. It's not so bad. The pirate was so freaked out, he didn't even bother setting his bolt on fire. Of course, it meant that like there was some wadding on the end, and it kind of like bunched up against the wound, and like it's kind of like the arrow sticking out of Steve's body now, or the bolt sticking out of Steve's body. It kind of has a diaper on, and it's just kind of like, ugh. But at least it wasn't on fire.
Thank goodness for small miracles.
But unfortunately, there's another scout in a bush whose arrows are on fire, and shoots at Steve as well. Hits with a 21 and does 10 damage with its arrow.
Stop aiming good, you guys.
There are donkeys back at the fire elsewhere. Nom nom nom. Steve, it is your turn.
Okay. Now, which tier of this sand is the one that gets out of here?
Pardon?
Like, 'cause these are tier, right? So is it this way? Or is this tier?
Oh, all of that sand, those are just kind of like doony dunes. All of those dunes lead to the road.
Yeah, I need the swirly that says load next map.
It's
what
that
that's-
part that is a different height from the beach at large.
Okay.
So the stuff that looks rocky, that's a climb. The stuff that looks sandy is traversable without climbing.
These guys are all effectively surrounding us. Nothing really grouped. Well, sorry you ran out here, Kymir.
Yeah, I'm regretting that decision.
So what's gonna happen here is that Stiiv is gonna vanish in a cloud of mist as he uses his bonus action to cast Misty Step. Poof,
Poof!
here 30 feet away, like a less impressive Darkwing Duck. And then, unlike most zombies, but very much like the 2000 remake of Dawn of the Dead, which took place in the shopping mall, with the fast zombies. Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Down
going to
with the
use his
sickness.
action and movement to haul fleshy zombie ass. Oops, that way off the map, 60 feet. That's only 15, but it won't let me go further.
But you got to get off that map.
Yeah, he's like,
Before you leave this map, can you roll a d20 for me?
in the tower.
Out in the open. See what your karma is. Oh, excellent karma for you as well. So nothing happens at this juncture. And you are able to are you running silently or are you running screaming?
Well, not necessarily screaming, but there may have been some screaming when before he poofed into a cloud of mist, but then just concentrating on not looking like a hedgehog.
Now, your karma was such that you're able to run away rather quietly if you so choose.
Honestly, I don't think that's within Steve's wheelhouse. That's not really something he would
So I'm putting you on the other map on the edge
like. For him,
because
quietly would be considered not screaming.
these two maps are not directly adjacent. But where we are is the next turn. Your next turn, you can move on to the forest trail where Shaefira is hanging out by the campfire if you so choose.
Okay.
And scene. So Stiiv has basically disappeared.
I just buy Felicia.
Yeah. And the next guy who gets to act is basically south of Kymir in a bush. So all he sees now, like 1 second there was this zombie and a tiefling poofed out of nowhere and a tiefling was there with him. And next thing you know, the zombie's gone and all that's left is this tiefling. So the bandit just reacts spasmodically, just out of just reflex, shoots his crossbow in Kymir's direction. Does a 19.
Deflect missiles.
But you're going to deflect missiles. I need to
Yes.
roll an 8 at least for you to not catch it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, hang on.
Does Zephyr Strike give you a bonus to AC?
No, it just gives me. It just says I'm no longer subject to opportunity attacks.
And it was like that movement too. But you were able to catch the arrow. Was not a forceful enough bolt in your face. So you catch it.
Yes, and I'm going to throw it back in.
Hurl away. You hit him. And let's see. I'll roll the damage on. You do 6 damage.
Woohoo!
You hear it. Aw, nuts. And he ducks back in the bush. Meanwhile, back at the campfire, roll another perception check in the tower, Shaefira. You're actually out in the open, because, I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious. Yeah, that gum smacking, it's just nonstop. She's just chewing and chewing.
Should I be worried about her chewing?
She's chewing gum. I don't know. It's up to you how worrying that is.
Okay. Well, I mean, Shaefira's got a little bit of niggling doubt creeping in about the whole situation and leaving Stiiv and Kymir behind. And, you know, a little bit of worry going on. So I'm thinking, Shaefira's thinking that she needs to sort of try and get the situation under control, maybe. But she's going to ask Lieutenant Blagg if he will go pick some peaches for her from the peach cove up the way. For pudding, we could make a nice peach cobbler.
He kind of squints at you. The peaches were that's an hour away by donkey. Like,
Yeah,
the beans
I
are going
thought
to
it
take a
was
long
about-
time, but
Well, just think of peach cobbler for pudding. Yeah.
roll a d20. Actually, no, squish that. This is a great opportunity for persuasion. He does not seem happy about it. But the lieutenant is like, okay. I mean, the beans are going to take a really long time. So by the time I get to the peaches and back, beans probably still won't be done. But that means one of you are going to have to watch the pot. And Philip is like, I'm not doing it. Smack, smack. Yeah, whenever I cook anything, I get dirt in it. So, it's you, Cardigan. It's you, Spitfire. You can do it. It's all down to you. Don't burn the beans.
No, I'll watch them. Yeah. So
the lieutenant hops on a donkey and starts to toddle down the road. I should have made him do an animal handling check. So he's toddled some 60 feet down the road with one of your donkeys.
Okay. So
roll a d20 now.
A d20. Oh, what the chuff.
Oh, he's got your donkey. Oh, is the donkey you were riding?
So I take it that's my turn then.
Yep, that's
Because
about
Tholgrin
it.
would be action and stuff. Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the beach. Same situation. One minute there was a zombie on the beach, next minute there's not a zombie on the beach. One minute there was only a dead body on the beach, next minute there is a tiefling and a zombie on the beach. What is happening? That's what Bandit 2 is asking himself. What is happening? Thing is, does he have a good vantage point of anything? Well, let's see if he has a good vantage point of anything. I'm going to roll a perception check for the bandit. Yeah, he's not all that. He definitely does not track the direction that Stiiv is running. As far as he knows, that zombie just disappeared out of nowhere. So the only thing that he can focus on is the tiefling on the beach. And so he aims his crossbow at Kymir. But he misses with an 11.
Yay.
You hear him say, "Aw, nuts," and he jumps back into his bush for cover. Meanwhile, there's another bandit up on the ridge, looking down from the heights. He has the same problem. He's going to make his perception check. Now, this guy's a scout, and he has a much better sense of paying attention, noting small details. And he did spot Stiiv scurrying away. So he lets out the shout, "Zombie! Zombie's a fast zombie! He went that way!" to his compatriots. And he shoots at Kymir, but then he starts moving toward the beach path. And he hits Kymir with a dirty 20.
Deflect myself.
Is that a reaction?
Yeah.
You can do it once per round.
Oh, hang
I think
on.
it's the same round.
Shit. It's a reaction.
I think I'm interpreting that correctly.
Okay, then.
So he did 9 damage. And unfortunately, he did take the time to set it on fire. But because you're a tiefling, and a tiefling, the particular flavor of tiefling in Eberron that you're resistant to fire, so you don't actually take that fire damage. And it looks like it reduces the total amount of damage you took to 4. Kymir,
Okay, I
it
have
is
questions.
your turn, but I do want you to roll a d20 at the onset. As your karma is quite nice as well. So there are no additional events that happen at this time.
To be fair, Stiiv is the only one who should have bad karma. Right, because he bloody abandoned me. Right, Zephyr's Strike. It says that once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on an attack roll. So does my spell end after my turn?
Oh, I just thought of something. Does it say it's a concentration thing?
Yes.
Never mind, because I don't know how I'll do that, because that's normally as a spell, and this is an item, so I mean, do we treat that as a level 1 spell check?
Depends on how the item's worded.
I don't think I put anything down about how it's worked. How it worked. Did I put down anything that says that
It says Zephyr Strike, it says level 1 transmutation.
I think I just copied the spell as is.
Right.
I didn't
And
say
then
anything
just
specifically about whether or not you have to make concentration checks with spells you cast with the crown.
doesn't say so, no.
So I'm going to skip
Just
that
says it
for
takes
now.
a charge.
I'm going to skip that for now until unless it starts to seem really, really cheesy, and then we'll revisit that idea.
Okay. So I want to know whether or not I'm still in my Zephyr's Strike spell until the end
Yes.
of like
I think
I've
it lasts
attacked.
for a minute.
Yes.
So that's 10 rounds.
Okay, then I'm going to attack Pirate 1 with Radiant Bolt. And it says you can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack roll on your turn. So I'd like to do it on this one.
Okay. What? You rolled a 20. Wop, wop, wop. So you do 7 damage. I guess is the max for your Sunbolt at this time? I guess it isn't, but you did
1d4
double
plus,
damage.
yeah, it is. And then I'm going to also run away, and it says that this increases my walking speed by 30 feet, which means I can get 70 feet.
Yes.
Which means I can get off the map.
All right. So you're also in the holding place?
Yes. I'm gonna go find Stiiv and smack him around the back of the head.
Do a perception check, and you can do that out in the open.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't notice anything that's happening behind you.
Okay.
And I am moving you to the green room next to Stiiv. Though I think Stiiv has a lead on you because he did all of his movement towards running. So it will actually take you, unless you dash, it's going to take you around to travel to the next map.
Okay.
Oh, Dave is following with you. I suspect.
Yes.
Wait,
I mean,
let me do a perception check for Dave. Oh yeah, he didn't notice anything either. Run away! Hi, I'm Dave. I'm running away. So everybody's running away from the beach.
But he's invisible and humanized, so it's fine.
It's fine. It's invisible and humanized, yeah. Philippa is still smacking her gum. And she's watching, she starts like kind of watching Shaefira as Spitfire Cardigan cooking the beans. I don't think you're stirring them enough. They're gonna get burnt on the bottom. You always burn the beans.
Stir, stir, stir. I'm stirring. Calm yourself.
Do you hear something?
No.
Just your gum smacking.
Yeah.
Oops.
Shush, Stiiv. Yeah, just
Wait,
you.
is there someone there? I thought I heard talking.
All I can hear is you chine down on your chewing gum or whatever it is you've got in your mouth.
Blech.
What is it that you're chewing on?
Just bubblegum.
Can you do it quietly, please?
I don't know. It's my kicking ass gum.
You're kicking ass gum.
Yeah, it's my
All
kicking
right.
ass gum. I have this feeling.
Does it
I have
give
this
you-
weird feeling that we haven't gotten away very easily. I mean, and now we've built this campfire in the middle of the road, and we're gonna take hours making these beans.
Yeah, but What are you worried about?
This is
The
the
only
kind of
guys.
planning that got us to be one of the most feared gangs out of Kurosawa. I'm just saying.
We'll be fine.
I don't know if Ma or the aunties would appreciate, this whole skill set we're displaying here.
What, bean cooking or chewing
We're
gum?
not doing enough
What?
killing, sis. We're not doing enough killing. You know how the hags are. They're like, kill them all, sort it out later.
Oh,
And
well,
I think if this gets back to Granny Finger Bowl or Ma or Auntie, we're just gonna get in trouble. This is the kind of crap that Dish would do. Just sitting around reading by a campfire where like things are exploding.
She went there.
what things are exploding?
Well, that's a good point. Things should be exploding, and we should be the ones doing the exploding.
Hmm. Yeah, but I need to have a rest and some food so I can start, chucking my fireballs around again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hmm.
Wait, I
Yeah.
thought you rested back at that shrine when we dumped the body.
No,
Did you
no,
get
I
up from the
didn't.
shrine too soon?
Yeah, I did. I was
Oh,
trying to
what are
click
you
on the
like?
wrong one, actually. I think I sat down at the wrong one.
Oh, it's typical.
Yeah. Yeah,
Typical.
I know. So can we just, cook the beans? I'll eat the beans, and then I'll feel a hell of a lot better. And then we can just go. We can go slaughter whoever you want to go slaughter.
Man, I wish we picked up some of that spicy syrup when we were in Saltmarsh. That goes really good with baked beans.
Mm.
Maybe next time we raid. Whatever.
Is there a Nando's in Saltmarsh?
I wish.
Saltmarsh.
So, unbeknownst to you, well, there's some bandits. The bandits on the ridge did communicate to each other, like, because one of them spotted Stiiv running away, and they've communicated to each other, though their voices did not travel to pirates on the other side of the beach. So 3 of the scouts are kind of running off in that direction. Where they saw the figures depart. The other bandits are having a bit of an adventure of their own. Namely, the three bandits that Shaefira sent off disguised as Spitfire Cardigan have come running down the beach screaming.
That bodes well.
It's after us! So, Kymir and Stiiv, roll perception checks. Kymir, you hear this. You hear like, it's after us! Run away! Run away! It's the conquistador!
The conquistador.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know what that is?
You do not know what that is.
Okay.
Stiiv is the only one likely to know what that is.
But Spanish doesn't exist in Eberron. I'm getting the shut up glare. I can feel it through the camera.
The internet is telling you to shut up. But you've heard this, Kymir, from afar. And you know that there are three scouts coming up behind that seem to be running your direction.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant Blarg is still riding the donkey. He disappears around the bend. One of the first pirate scout. Well, no, it's not it's not the first pirate scout. It's one of the ones who was tailing behind the guy who noticed Stiiv and Kymir running off. He's still running, but he's way behind you guys. Yeah, top of the next round. I'm moving things. Can you guys still see the other map?
I've still got it open. The one with all the bandits on.
Mm-hmm. So you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peek behind over your shoulder. You see bandits moving around. And we're on to Stiiv. Stiiv!
Okay.
You dash last turn, so you can enter this map proper if you so choose. And you're rolled well enough that you can be sneaky.
How far away is Philippa?
She is about 20 feet away.
Oh, so pretty much where we
Yeah,
are.
it's like you're sneaking around the bend. We could say that you're hiding in that bush.
Well, okay. There. I will sneakily shuffle 5 feet to the north. Of course, not planned for this in any way, shape, or form. And then rub my hands together and thrust my pelvis out and cast a lightning bolt on the unsuspecting bitch.
Did you move? Where did you move
I
somewhere?
did. I moved up 1 square
Oh, okay.
just so I wouldn't get the donkey.
Oh, that's nice.
Because we're down to 1 right now.
That's Kymir's donkey.
So does that mean Kymir has prime ass?
Because
Always.
donkey won. All
Now the
right.
question is, since she is unsuspecting, does she get disadvantage on her reflex save?
It is a reflex save, isn't it?
It is.
I'm just double checking to see if she has anything on herself that would alter such a thing. I'm taking way too long to look this up.
An important decision for her sake. Because if things go my way, she's going to have a really bad round.
No, I think she can have disadvantage.
It didn't roll it, but well, it didn't matter. It didn't roll the disadvantage, but okay, who cares? I'll take that.
All right. Yeah, she fails with the 12.
Here comes the boom. Why is it every time I say that I roll like shit?
That's not bad.
It's less than half the whole way across the board, except that 1/6. Maximum damage from that could have been 48. Ugh.
She knows you're there now.
No shit, Sherlock.
Does she look at least? Yeah, does she look at least frazzled?
She spits out her
Impacted
gum.
slightly?
She spits out her
Ooh,
gum in the road.
that's okay. Let me mark both those off because let it go. There it is. Boop. My bonus action. Moving to summon a 10-foot ethereal tentacle behind her, which will smack her upside the head for spitting on the roadway.
Nice.
Oh, Toby rolls a nat 20. Critical slapping. Do not litter.
Don't spit gum on the road. And your speed is reduced by 10 feet. Bitch.
Philippa's like, what the fuck? Spitfire! Ambush!
Eh? What? Who?
And
I'm staring.
I'm stirring those beans.
You said not to stir the bean or not to burn the beans.
Shaefira, it is your turn. The jig is up. A bolt of lightning and a tentacle have appeared.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and pull a bit of a sneaky surprise attack on Philippa with my obsidian stiletto and give her a good jab in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say
And you
poke.
have, I think you have advantage because she's like not, she is unaware that you
So-
are an enemy.
Do I click that plus 2 bit?
Advantage button. To the left of it, the ADV button. And you'll also get the sneak attack damage. I mean, the sneak attack damage. So you hit her with a 28.
Ka-ching.
So your base attack does 8 damage.
And sneak attack. The 6. And then there's the bleeding effect
Yeah.
on the stiletto.
Roll the save on her.
Save.
She
saves, yeah?
succeeds. So she doesn't get the bleed. But she's like bleeding practically from her eyes and she looks enraged. She's like, sister, what the fuck? You're not Spitfire!
No. Yeah. I can I move away?
Yes.
I
Your
can,
bonus
can't I?
action allows
Yeah,
you to
I'm just-
disengage.
Yeah. Yeah, disengage. Yeah. Yeah. Stick my tongue out. And off.
And see.
So-
Meanwhile, back at the beach, people are running. Kymir, you can do a perception check.
I see nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as you're concerned, there is no screaming coming down the beach.
You have feet.
And
Pretty
Kymir,
pretty.
it is your turn.
But I'd need because if I didn't do a dash, I'd need another round to get to.
Yeah.
So I guess that's that.
All right.
Oh, but can I cast something while I'm moving?
You could cast something on yourself.
I want to cast heroism.
Is that a concentration thing?
Oh, it is. So I'll lose Zephyr's.
Yeah.
But that don't matter anyway because I've
Didn't
done what I
Zephyr
needed
Strike
to do with it.
expire with the bonus or the advantage?
It should have lasted. The disengagey part, the non-attack of opportunity thing should last for a minute.
Oh. Okay.
So if it expired, you'd have to look at it again to see if the whole resistance to certain damages lasts longer. The advantage on your next attack is like only your next attack, so that should definitely like is like a one-shot thing that
Yeah.
is not for the duration of the spell. But
I don't
See, I
know
was-
that one. So.
I know that being able
Yeah.
to
Read it.
disengage or not disengage, but move without incurring opportunity attacks lasts for a minute.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I'm going to keep it. I thought that would have gone. That's all. So, in that case, I will just keep running towards where Stiiv went.
Okay,
Stiiv,
running,
you
keep
dirty
running.
son of a devourer.
And I'm going to put you like up here just to kind of differentiate that you are in progress. Philippa, it's her turn. She's mad. And she's in kind of bad shape.
And I still look like a corpse.
Shaefira shouts out, "Don't forget to stir the beans," just to wind her up.
Nice.
The indignity. Philippa, getting lay of the land, knowing that cursing your inevitable betrayal, she does a misty step. She darts into a bush so that she's obscured. And then there comes a rumbling.
That usually happens after you eat the bean.
The beans have been abandoned. There's just the donkey there by the campfire with the pot of beans on top, and Toby kind of swaying in the wind. She chooses a point centered upon Stiiv. It
You hurt
happens.
my donkey. Oh no.
Just check. It was centered on it. It's not going to hit the donkey. But it's centered on Stiiv because Stiiv made her the most mad. I mean, she's mad at you too, but you know, priorities. And Stiiv got first dibs. So Stiiv, you make a dexterity save as the earth around you erupts in a fountain of churning stone and sand and rocks.
It's okay. I'm great at these.
Hey.
Holy shit, you saved, man.
Wow.
So you only take half damage.
Oh,
So you take 10 bludgeoning damage.
given the size of the dice that just rolled, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Half damage isn't bad. And also, the area where that cube is now difficult terrain. Which means you'll have like you won't be able to move very far. It'll be half distance.
Half movement.
Next turn.
Half movement.
And it may be a little bit sticky for Kymir as well, having to travel through that square. But I think that's her turn.
Wait a minute. Oh, right. No.
What?
He cast 2 leveled spells in a turn.
One is a bonus action.
It doesn't matter. It's leveled. It's not a cantrip.
She uses sorcery points.
Son of a bitch.
Nice try.
I was trying.
You were trying.
Took me a second there. I was like, wait, hold on. No, she can't.
You just started. I was checking something, and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, I know.
He had enough sorcery points.
Oh, she has enough sorcery points. For that, she definitely does, yeah. Oh, oops. Lieutenant Blarg. He's going to roll a perception check. But he's going to have to get like a nat 20. Which he did not. So he continues riding Shaefira's donkey. Oh, there's that guy. Okay, so Pirate Scout is running. But he's still like coming up behind Kymir by a good round. More running.
Running.
So much running.
And they ran. They ran so far away.
The other map. Steve, it's your turn.
Trying to figure out why speed reduced by 10 feet expired on Philippa was just like randomly in between Donkey 1 and Bobby.
Probably Misty Stepping?
I mean, it should expire at the beginning of, or what is it, the beginning of my
But
turn,
expired at the end of your turn?
Or it
Oh,
would have been either mine or hers.
that
Not
is kind of
in
weird.
the middle of.
Because that's like nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I was like, huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever.
That's Fantasy Grounds magic.
All right, she's up over there. Kymir and Dave are not yet on the map, correct?
Correct.
Okay. 5. So she's within 20 feet. First thing first. Bonus action. Get Bobby. I'm reading the chat. Get Toby in her face and try and slap her again.
She is partially obscured.
For melee?
Well, you have to know where she is in the bushes.
Okay. So we'll smack her anyway. And let's stick with the coal.
How good of a smack. That was good enough of a smack
That's
to
a
drop
good one.
her. So you hear rustling in the bushes, and then you see Toby, the tentacle, come out of the bushes and give you a thumbs up.
Does he have like her head like peeled off like Mortal Kombat dripping blood fatality?
He can do that, sure.
Why not?
Disembodied head.
He doesn't.
He tosses it at your feet.
And that was a 25-foot cube centered on me, correct?
A 20-foot cube.
20 foot. Okay. So that's 10, 20. I can get to there then.
Hi,
Pet the
Kymir's donkey.
Hi, Kymir's donkey who didn't dump me in the lake. I mean, river. And scene.
You can roll a perception check.
Oh. I'm good at these. Holy crap.
So, now that you have destroyed this halfling sorcerer, and there's no like immediate danger at this campfire area except for the underdone beans that are burning.
Those can explode, man.
You realize like Kymir is running up behind you. You assume with Dave fluttering beside him, but he's invisible. But you assume you can see him invisible flying by Kymir. But you also see that there is this chain of running bandits coming up the beach behind Kymir. And behind them, you see a hulking creature. A fearsome creature. A creature you thought was only legend in Saltmarsh. It is the monstrosity known as the Conquistador, a giant hunter conch. It is the legend rumors that this is a massive, almost perhaps an aberration version of a normal conch that is taller than a man, nearly indestructible because of its shell, and that this time of year, the normal smugglers and people who come here to catch conch for food avoid it because it's spawning season. And the conquistador is especially horny and desirous of spawning this time of year, and so that's why the locals give this beach a wide berth. and it is crawling up the beach behind these bandits. But you know, it's a conch in a
That ain't
shell.
right.
Doesn't move that fast. But it's big and it's scary and it has a lot of tongues.
Yeah. And the top looks kind of suggestive.
Just a bit.
That is an actual picture of a hunter conch, by the way. Oh, and I was on somebody's turn who's running
Wait,
away from that
where's the
conquistador.
actual picture of the hunt? I mean, I put
It's
one
back
in
on the
this.
Conch Follies map, but like, can you see it?
I've closed. There it is. Oh, funny. That's pretty much the same picture I just posted.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Fucking hell, is that real?
it's real.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's a giant
god.
conch.
If I saw one of them, I would run after thinking, God, that's rude.
It's almost as bad as the gooey duck.
So it's
Which
coming
is-
up the beach, but it's trailing the pack of bandits running in front of it.
How is it moving?
It's using its tongues to pull itself along the beach.
Ugh.
It's Shaefira's turn. You saw Philippa Cardigan's head go flying out of the bush towards Stiiv. Seems like a problem solved.
Can
Hang
you hear
on.
me now? Can you
There
hear
we
Yes.
go,
me?
yeah.
Yeah, so can I see anything else? Or can I hear people running? Do I know what's coming? Blah blah blah.
You can do a perception check. Yeah, you see the crowd of bandits coming to, and the unspeakable conch. Giant sea life. You don't know that it's specifically what a conquistador is, but you're like, this is a giant thing in a shell crawling down the beach.
Okay, and it's coming up the same way that we came onto this path, yeah?
Yeah, or at least it seems to be chasing the bandits.
Okay. I'm just gonna go into sneak
Okay.
right here. I'm assuming there's no other baddies around that can see me.
You killed Philippa.
Yeah.
As far as you know, the lieutenant has ridden your donkey off to the Peaches.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go into sneak for the time being because I really don't know what's going on. And that's it, I think.
Okay.
If Pyrus 3's got any sense, he will stay put.
He's moving, but he's definitely like behind you.
I meant on the other map.
Oh.
Never mind.
Kymir, it's your turn.
Alright, so do I have to like run down there to then get over onto the map?
You can place yourself on the map now.
I can't move, Dave. If there's a whole bunch of guys behind me, we need to run. Or hide. Or kill them.
Let's see
How
all
many
the
were there?
options.
How many?
Everyone that was on the beach when Stiiv ran away from me.
Oh, I don't know how many there was on the beach. I just shouted for them all to look out. What do you reckon? About 20?
10-ish, maybe? But I don't know for definite, do I?
I do.
Yeah, Steve definitely knows how many.
Okay, what do we want to do? Because they are right behind us.
I say we hide and let them run on past. There's no way we're gonna get enough of a lead.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we could just, you know, go over there and hide behind the rocks, and then they go straight north.
True. But we're still in combat, aren't we? So we can't just run willy-nilly.
Honestly, because they're not technically on this map yet, you have time to do something like that, to hide in the bushes, and it's about time for us to take a break. So if
Okay.
you want to hide somewhere, and we can pick up and instigate said plan upon post break.
I mean, to
Okay.
move your ass.
I can't move me ass. He won't come.
Oh, I
mean, I
can move
could.
his ass.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, that maybe that was your donkey. Maybe Kymir's donkey is the one the lieutenant took.
Why
Oh,
can
no,
I
I can
move
move donkey.
Toby? I can move Toby, but I can't move Dave.
I can
That's
move
weird.
donkey one.
Did anybody grab the beans?
No,
Man,
there's
they're
just a
burning for
fire
sure
with the pot
now.
of beans. A fire with a pot of beans, just chilling on the corner of a road. Totally not
Does
cursed or
Dave work
poisoned.
better?
Right, well, he's on his... I can see his sheet again. Hang on. I still can't move him, though.
I don't understand things. I feel like
Well, if you don't, I'm
I feel like
screwed.
when you have
Is
his
it
control of his sheet, you should be able to move him. I don't understand.
make him not neutral?
Oh,
I can move him now.
yay!
Woohoo!
Okay, so it's the whole like we'll just have to have pretend invisibility now, forever. Pretend invisible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Use our imagination. Okay, well let's take a break, and we shall reconvene.
Okay, back in the tick.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so since I couldn't cast Erupting Earth because it is a spell and the whole whatever cantrip and bonus action deal, I rolled for Ray of Frost.
It's already
So
done. No, it's already done. That's way too far
you
back.
can have one
That's
hit
way too
point
far back
back.
to retcon. Yeah, no, that's what I was like. That's way too far back to bother retconning. Like it's done
But it was a break, so I figured we could address it over the break.
for my half a hit point.
You could eat some beans and get some hit
You
points.
can
back.
have a whole hit point. It's true. If Shaefira takes 8 hours to cook the beans, they become magical beans.
Well, I mean,
Well,
The magical fruit.
as seriously speaking, right now, I mean they're just approaching a simmer. There's no way these beans are edible at this point. It's
you
only
can,
been like 5 minutes. I don't want to eat beans that are ready in 5 minutes. That'll kill some motherfucker.
We've been a bit loosey goosey with time, really.
They may have come out of a tin with a nice blue label on.
Yeah, they might have been pre beaned
Mm.
So then
and you
they're
just reheating. Not the slow cooking of really good fancy beans. These maybe they aren't the kind of beans I would eat personally. Maybe they're canned beans. Maybe they're Heinz.
Yeah, that's what I was
But with
thinking.
the tomato sauce. You've got lots.
Anyway.
Well, Kymir has a lot of toast.
Well, we're not touching anything that
no one
Kymir's got.
that only Kymir can eat.
yeah, exactly.
You'd have to borrow his toaster forever.
no. I admit, as I just looked it up, coming from most of my bean recipes being red beans and rice or hop and john, which intentionally overcook the beans like crazy. So I definitely personally overestimated, but it's still 45 minutes to 2 hours if they're dried.
You can't overcook beans. Unless you burn them.
Well, no, but the whole point of like red beans and rice is to cook them to mush, and then you puree half of them, and reintroduce it, so it's like creamy and.
Yeah. That's just beans. I don't, but maybe that's just the beans that I eat.
I was about to say I don't want that for my black beans. Like if I'm making like black bean tacos or a burrito bowl, I don't want them to be like.
Because like it
I want
depends
them
on
to
the
have a
type
little
of
bit.
bean. Where I'm concerned, it depends on the type of bean you choose, whether or not they get mushy if you cook them a really, really long time.
That's true. Although if you haven't tried them, refried black beans, oh my,
Yeah,
like
they
you
are good.
just
They're definitely a bean that like holds its shape more than a
yeah,
pinto
you
does.
gotta yeah, you definitely gotta cook them.
We are a Heinz baked bean household.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No,
It's
we're
okay.
sorry.
Cheap and easy.
Does
We have
Rancho
made
Gord-
bean chili though, haven't we? And that was really
Yeah.
nice. And it was not
Yeah.
with Heinz baked beans.
Black bean chili.
does Rancho Gordo ship to the UK?
I don't know. I bet they probably would. It would just take a while.
They have some phenomenal
Their
beans.
beans are crazy good. I mean, oh my god. I have beans actually for dinner, which might be why we got onto this whole thing, or why there were beans in the pot to begin with, is because I love beans. Anyway, yeah, I have refried beans on tostadas and stuff for dinner.
According to this, yes, they are.
And there is a little Nando sauce in there, in addition to the Chipotle.
Oh, of
Why
course.
Of
why am
course,
I not surprised?
because it's me. Oh, but you guys hid on the ridge. This is like you are reenacting the ambush per se. Well, maybe not reenacting the ambush. Maybe you're just reenacting the hiding and staying the fuck out of sight. But earlier, maybe only half an hour ago, I don't know how long it took for you guys to lie your asses off with the bandits. But earlier, Spitfire and some of her goons were on this ridge, ambushing you with meteors and arrows. But now you've snuck up there with your donkey and you're hiding in the bushes, waiting for all the bandits come running off the beach, who are being followed, or they're running away from El Conquistador. I love that so much. I feel like this is a superhero's villain. I really
It
do.
might be a back for Lieutenant Blarg.
I mean, it's butt cracking adjacent, really.
It really is.
Ow! And this is the one drunken idea I had that I kept from last night. Okay. Anyway, you're hiding. So everybody do a stealth check. And this is going to be a group success kind of thing, so any one person's particular dismal
Uh-oh.
one is not necessarily failure.
Sorry, Shaefira.
Okay, so your final score is 34, and that is good enough
Crikey.
to be hidden, non-visible, in these bushes. The only way somebody's going to spot you is if they roll a d20. I mean, a nat 20. And so I am going to... Out of all the dudes running up the beach, well, what happened was El Conquistador, Pirate 3 wasn't smart, not like Kymir suggested. They weren't smart like that. They kept moving. And so they went on a collision course with El Conquistador, and they got nabbed by a tongue. So they're basically entangled right now, and El Conquistador is doing unspeakable things to their body. And the other pirates, though, are running. And amongst these, I think three of them are scouts. Yes. They have better perception, so I'm going to just roll for them. I'm going to assume that none of the other dudes know what's what enough to spot you guys.
Plus, they're too busy running away from Conquistador.
Oh, there's a 19. Okay, no 20s. So none of them see what you're up to. So these bandits start dashing. I'm going to take Pirate 3 away because, I mean, he doesn't want to live life now. Five and Bobby and Grunk kind of have a lead here because they were the ones. Well, actually, they don't have a lead because while they were the first ones to unfortunately run across this creature, the other guys had a head start and were already chasing after Stiiv and Kymir.
But do any of them notice the beans?
Do they notice the? The one who rolled a 19, Pirate Scout 2. Okay, yeah, he knows the beans. He stops by the bee pot and he's like, someone left beans here. Who would have left beans here? Should I take the beans? Should I take the beans? No, wait. Certain death coming up behind us. I'm going to keep running. And he keeps running. I think I have multiple bandits. Oh, I do. I have a bandit with the same name. Bandit 2 gets away. This guy who's labeled Pirate 1, because he's not really a pirate, he's a bandit, and he should quit lying about his life. He also gets grabbed by the conquistador. So, there's this herd of bandits running up the trail now, screaming. You guys are hiding out.
What I wouldn't give for a spell slot.
They're not. They're bandits. They're not conscientious bandits. So they don't put the fire out. The campfire is still burning. Do you keep on hiding, or what do you do during this time?
I think hide.
What are you doing with your donkey? I didn't roll a stealth check for the donkey. Should I do that?
Can you draw stealth to the donkey?
I don't think donkeys are naturally stealthy.
Would the donkey just be eating some grass?
It would just be a dex check off the sheet, unless it has a.
Well, here I'm throwing ideas out here. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should we give the donkey a pass?
I think we give the donkey a pass.
Give the donkey a pass.
I mean, he's been around lightning bolts. He's been around fireballs. He's been around
He's a chill donkey. And I guess this was Shaefira's donkey, so you know that this is a high performance donkey.
He's a chill. He's a, you know what it is? He's a smooth ass.
He's a smooth ass criminal. Yeah, this is probably the kind of donkey who like performs at a circus doing tricks at this point. Showstopper donkey. Donkey, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, donkey? So, you guys are just hiding?
I am. Shaefira is, Ralph.
I will continue to hide and drop whoever it was his corpse's visage I was wearing.
Okay. You are no longer Captain Mars Lamond. You are Stiiv. The Stiiv. Stiiv the Jobs.
I'll become Shaefira again. I'll drop cardigan and remove the orange cardigan
Remove
because
the
it's
orange.
clashing with my hair.
Take off your persona. You are now back to your true self. Do you keep the cardigan or do you just dump it?
No, I keep it. I mean, we could sell it.
It does. It does get chilly. The wind coming off the ocean at times, especially at night, gets a bit chilly.
Yeah, I'll keep it for now.
Kymir, you hear the fluttering of Dave's wings. I'm Dave. I am hiding.
You keep hiding, Div.
I think I'm invisible. Can you see me?
Can I see him?
You can't see him.
Yes, you're invisible.
Oh boy!
If
I'm doing it right!
If nobody looks at you, you're always invisible.
Ooh, I have to remember that.
Oh, that's quite deep.
No, he shouldn't. That's gonna totally destroy him.
He's like, don't look at me! Don't look at me! Wait, Steve, you've dropped your appearance, but you're just kind of like, I wish I had a spell slot.
Yeah, just kind of peeking over there, like I wish I could shatter them all.
Did you dismiss Toby?
Yeah, Toby only lasts a minute per
Okay,
summon.
so Tobathos' service
So-
has ended, and he went back to the ether, and
Would need to be resummoned should I call into services.
okay. But you aren't going to do that
At
at this juncture.
juncture, no.
Okay. So time passes, and the pirates they're running down the road. Again, these are criminal minded. So you see a combination of they're both humans and halflings make up this group, but most of them are humans, and there's one hobgoblin. Five, being a halfling, decides to run off and sneak into a bush and disappears. Apparently, this is a time-honored tactic when things are chasing you.
Naturally, yeah.
Doesn't bother cluing in the rest of the lot about, hey dummy, get out of sight, run in a Z pattern.
You only have to outrun the person slower than you.
By this point, you can no longer see what's happening on the beach. So roll perception checks.
20.
With a dirty 20, Kymir hears the plainful wail of a bandit screaming, "Not in the face! Not in the face!" And then there's a glurk and then silence. And you don't hear anything else come from the beach for a good minute.
I mean, well, I don't know all about this, so I'm just wondering, is it likely to come off the beach if it's a conch? Conch?
And you can do a nature check. And
Sure, why
Steve
not?
might have advantage here because of his background.
For a what check?
A nature.
Nature.
Because this is a sea creature. So give yourself advantage.
How the fuck?
Oh no.
2 ones.
Oh gosh, now that's a first, isn't it?
I think it can fly.
Well,
We should just stay here hiding for like a day. Just to be on the safe side.
Well, as soon as I find the thing, would this happen to be an aberration, beast, elemental, or a monstrosity?
Yes.
Would it also happen to be within 120 feet of me?
No.
Okay.
You know it's not within 120 feet of you, though.
Well, as soon as it comes in 120 feet, is
Would your spidey sense tingle?
my
Your tentacle
scion
sense?
of the deep, aberrant
All
beast,
right.
elemental, or monstrosity, oceanic telepathy would kick in. I can
Oh,
communicate telepathically with it, and it can respond telepathically as well, as long as it's within 120 feet. I'm not sure that's necessarily a good idea, but
blorp. Wait, let me double check
I
something.
mean, I could sit there and say like, "Hey, all those bandits, they're really tasty."
Do they need to have more than 3 intelligence for that to work?
It does not specify. All it says is, at first level, your patron accepts you into its inner court of servitors. You can telepathically communicate with any aberration, beast, elemental, or monstrosity that has an innate swimming speed while it is within 120 feet of you. The creature can understand you and can respond telepathically. So it doesn't, because it does say, and I missed that last sentence.
Okay.
That's awful handy when you're fighting krakens and shit.
So you're still hiding, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, so far, your tentacle sense has not tingled, and you don't sense the presence of El Conquistador having come up off the beach at this point. So the bandits, they're running and they're trucking, they're dashing. And they kind of dash out of sight. In fact, I'm going to just start deleting them. Running off for parts less conky. A couple minutes pass, and you don't see the El Conquistador come into sight, but Steve, you feel like the tingle tingle, and you hear the sound like this voice like, all of the conch women are ugly this year. And it's just thinking about mating. That's all it wants to do.
And none of the bandits are left in sight.
Mm-mm. They're all gone out of sight. The last 2 bandits who were left behind on the beach, they didn't make it off the beach alive, apparently.
Okay. I shall telepathically attempt to convince the conquistador that the pot of beans is magical and will transform all of the conquermen into magnificent specimens ripe for mating.
It takes a while, but the conch is drawn to your poetic spell promising conch women. And it approaches the bonfire and starts trying to lick the beans. It burns its tongue though, and you hear this "Arr!" kind of like anger sound. And then you kind of hear like these thoughts of like, I do not like this sand.
That
It is too rocky.
magical effects do not come without tribulations.
I like my beans mushy.
Everyone's a critic.
Kymir didn't touch these beans at any point, did he?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately not.
Just checking.
Take that back.
Where are the conch women? Where are the eggs?
They're back on the beach. They're not going to be up here with the trees.
Lost. I don't know where I am.
Stand up a little bit. like, ignoring the fact that no one else present is privy to this conversation. They're just hearing silence and slurping, and you'll just stand up like suddenly, point to the ocean, and be like, telepathically go, that way!
Doing the same pointy point that he was doing.
Yes, but telepathically doing the that way.
Lurg! I'm so lost. Suddenly, El Conquistador's voice changes. Stiiv! Quit futzing around with my servants! Stiiv, do you have the page?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm trying. We're trying to get out of here alive without your servant eating us.
I will lead the creature back to my waters.
That's pretty cool.
Quit
Thanks.
playing around. Do not lose my page this time.
Oh, I won't.
Get me more.
Yep, working on that.
You see the El Conquistador start to slurp off back to the beach. And then after a few minutes, and he seems to be like working really hard, like pulling himself along with its tongues. It disappears. It's just this lone campfire, burning beans on the road. And most of the beans have been eaten. Like there's just enough left behind for maybe one slice of toast. And even then it's going to have a little bit of charcoal and road dirt in it. Because you know how camping, like cooking over a campfire is.
Plus conch backwash.
Mm-hmm. Well, that just makes it salty.
Okay. I no longer want any beans.
So 5 minutes pass. It's quiet. You don't see signs of anything. Your donkey nickers.
Oh, Steve does not know that you sent someone off for peaches earlier.
That's true.
We should probably do something about that.
Well, we'd be heading up that way anyway, wouldn't we? And I'm sure I'd inform you. I'd like, oh, by the way, there's a guy picking peaches for
All right, so where are we then? Well, apart from hiding behind a rock. So we killed Cardigan. We found her gang. We've sent them off in all, well, they've all gone in different directions, running away from Conquistador or dead. And they were expecting a ship from Scab, which hasn't appeared, so it looks like he's betrayed them.
Yeah, they got double-crossed.
Did we hear where? No, the Grunken Five just said they saw a ship going out of the harbour, didn't they? Out of Saltmarsh.
They said it was a method-powered jolly boat that had a city license number on it.
Which bears a striking resemblance to ours.
Which does sound suspiciously like your method-powered jolly boat, because you're the only ones who had one that actually had a Saltmarsh license number on it. Thanks to Trivet.
Right, so someone sneaked his boat. We don't know where it we're going. We don't actually know who sneaked it. It could be someone who was part of the jailbreak. It could be someone else completely. I can't remember why we were chasing after these specifically to get our stuff back, which we've done.
Yeah, get your stuff back mainly, but you kind of left it. You weren't officially charged to track down the bandits, but you know that Saltmarsh is kind of feeling vulnerable right now because a good number of guards died, and that combined with the mudslide disaster, a lot of people have been killed today. So there was a little bit of hey, let's get some of these bandits so they don't come back and do it again anytime soon. There was a little bit of that energy when you were last talking to Craddock.
The preemptive counter-strike.
Yeah.
But the lizard folk are expected us to be available for when they attack the
Oh
Sawag.
no,
Yes.
we're done. We're done with the lizard folk.
No,
We
they're expecting you to
delivered
join
them?
in.
When did that become part of it? I thought we were just going to.
That
would have been
That's
the
why you
message.
got the bloodroot vine elixir.
Yeah.
that would have been. When
Oh,
they
you
were,
might not have been here for that. Was he here for that? When you
don't
guys
know, but
stayed
it
for a
might have
couple
been when we
days
were-
and did the whole burial ceremony and all that.
Yeah, nope.
Oh, so you
Wasn't
missed
here.
that. Y'all hung out for a couple days with the lizard folk and made friends and did the diplomatic thing, and there's an expectation from the queen that you will be part of the forces that join with them from Saltmarsh that eventually
okay.
lay
Oh,
siege
for the Sahwag and
on the
all that good shit.
Sawagan.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant we were expected to be there for like the
You aren't expected to babysit
pageantry.
their every move in Saltmarsh.
No, it's more about the attacking and killing.
But yeah,
Okay,
that
I'm fine with the
future
attack.
problem for you, or that future adventure, laying siege to the Sawagan, is you're kind of committed to that one.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Which is why they gave you the bloodroot sap elixir, because they considered you, after the time spent, to be symbolically part of their tribe. It's kind of a symbolic gesture. Plus, with you guys putting forth all the effort to retrieve it.
Oh, great! It smells like rust and whale balls. That's for anyone who didn't read the bloodroot potion's description.
Is that what I wrote?
Sure is.
When we got it, I can't
Oh,
remember what it said.
that was nice of
Shimmering
me.
red potion in a simple glass vial smells of rust and whale musk. Cherry aftertaste.
Oh yeah. Carry on.
Well, I kind of want to
I
find
think we're
Scab and
done to
kill
go.
him.
I would
Go
like
on.
to do that too, but he's probably taken off. I'm out of character. I'd love to do that too, but he's probably like long gone with our boat, and there's no way in hell we can keep up with the way that boat goes with a regular boat. Like, yeah, if he turns that thing to 4, we're done. We're gone. So wherever he's going, he's there.
What do we reckon? Go back to Saltmarsh?
I desperately need to go back home and inscribe like 85 spells that I've been waiting since the beginning of this level, which happened back in Marcheval. And I just can't get a freaking hour to scribble.
All right. Well, I think it's worth. We can go back and we can say we've obviously dealt with Cardigan and her sister, and maybe find Captain Blag on the way back and take him out as well.
Mhm. Be
Because the
careful
rest of them,
peaches, though.
yeah, we'll mind the peaches. But I mean, I'm guessing the pirates and stuff will just go off and do something else if we take out the leaders. So
Well, I mean, look what happened to Chandeliers pirates when we took their leadership out. Half of them work for us.
one of them's running for council.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Like pirates with no leadership are like minnows. You can lead them with a laser pointer.
Some of these guys, they're just taking jobs of opportunity. They don't have any like distinct affiliations with whoever they're working for. They just need the money to like survive is what they're going for. As in the case of Chef Perkins and Rocky and Tito and
Poor
the people who
Crawford.
aren't with us anymore. Yeah, poor Crawford.
Okay. Back to Saltmarsh then.
Fire out first.
Just
Okay.
leave it.
Oh,
Okay.
No, I agree. Put the fire out.
Put out the bonfire. Don't leave it burning.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's why you are the heroes. Real heroes don't start forest fires.
Who said I was a real hero?
Well, they put it out. Stiiv, you just tagged along. You didn't stop them.
At least we didn't put it out with the rum.
So you mosey back on the trail.
Yes.
And I'm moving you. You get back to the signpost. By the way, you have one donkey.
Yeah, we're just walking with him.
You're welcome with your donkey. Does your
Yeah.
donkey have a name at this point? Have you gotten that close?
Donkey.
Donkey?
Yeah.
Donkey.
Although I vote we do it in proper Shrek fashion.
Scottish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, I
Or
forgot
donk for
Kymir.
short.
Back at that signpost. Dave is with you.
I'm Dave, I'm with you. Because I'm humanized.
Dave is riding the donkey.
Of course he is.
Has a proper seat and everything. So as you pass by the grove where the satyrs are playing, the flute music continues to go on. You're looking up in the sky, you see that the sun has moved. It now seems to be late afternoon.
So there's still time to go dance with the guys and get buffs.
You could, if you want to, you could dance with the satyrs. But if you don't want to take time, you want to hurry back to Saltmarsh, that's fine as well.
Like Stiiv wants to go
Yeah,
do
but
some
dance.
spell stuff.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna dance with the satyrs, and that's gonna take a little while, I can start scribbling in my book while you're doing that.
I was just picturing Stiiv pointing towards Saltmarsh now.
Let's go back to
His compass has changed directions and he's like now fixated to the south. That's where we live. So skipping the satyrs.
Yeah.
After all, you've killed a lot of people. El Conquistador has gone back to Conch's Folly.
Do we want to go back to Saltmarsh, or do we want to go back to our place?
Well, that's the thing is you won't go directly into Saltmarsh going back to your place. What you'll do is when you get to the road, it splits just outside the town gate. Yeah, I know this is like the third description I've given you of the roads outside of Saltmarsh, but I finally figured it the fuck out. Finally! And it splits to the south, just outside the gates, and that heads off to the direction of your house. Oh, it takes like an extra mile to get there. Kind of curves around back to the coast. It's not a really efficient road system. Probably another reason why people use boats. And you know that like the house, the road, like once it passes your house, it continues on toward the Dwarven mining camp. Not that I'm saying that for any particular reason. Should I change the donkey spelling? Should it be Donkey?
Yeah, if you feel like it.
There. So you're back at the signpost. Kymir, seeing as how Kymir did the best at tracking during the first leg of this adventure, Kymir, you figure out that it looks like all of the foot traffic from the bandits is headed north.
Okay.
So they're not headed back to Saltmarsh at least.
You think that's going to take them back to the halfling?
They could take them to the halfling village. They could be like skulking out like in the swamp somewhere. You know, you're not quite sure where they've gone from there. But you know that that all the traffic seems to be going that way from the recent footprints, and that they haven't doubled back toward town.
Did Stiiv and Kymir hear Philippa telling me about
No. Well, Stiiv might have, because Stiiv was there.
That he's going to disconnect from Fantasy Rounds. So we having issues.
Right, I have to remember to tell him about that.
No, I'm here in Discord. I just said it. Okay, it just finally showed up. I typed that nope like 20 seconds ago.
Okay, I see you guys reconnecting. I don't think I got the drop message. I just got like Shaefira reconnecting.
Because Shaefira is sneaky like that.
I somehow I opened up a bean GIF. I peeked in Discord and I like managed to like amplify the beans. So once you get here, which way are you gonna like, you know that there was Rock Rain Pass and there was some bad experiences there. But now being more familiar with the area, you know you can cut through the grove where the peach tree was and bypass the rock rains, or you could follow the road for a little while and then take that shortcut and then bypass the peaches as well. So like, do you want to go to the peach tree and check out and see if the lieutenant's still there, or do you want to just skip it completely and head straight for Saltmarsh?
That. And then if we could ever come back this way, we might find Lieutenant Blag just wandering around aimlessly, wondering what the hell's going on.
Or eaten by ants.
Okay, so type a T if you want to go through the tree grove, and S if you want to go through the shortcut.
Why y'all gotta do this to me?
Stiiv has deciding vote.
You could have typed quicker.
I typed Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, so that's a T?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. So you mosey the way, cutting through the grove where the trees are. There's the ginormous peach tree with millions of peaches. When you get there, you find half of the lieutenant's body lying in the grass with a peach in his mouth.
He was sampling the peaches, not collecting them.
And next to him is half of the body of Kymir's donkey.
I'm traumatized.
So only one donkey has survived. There's a lot of peaches on the ground, in the grass surrounding this tree, this peach tree. And you see the maple tree is still there. It still looks like it has a little a spike in it, and there's a bucket around it. It looks like it's collecting syrup. Like someone left that there.
And can I see tracks again? Because I think last time you said there was different sized footprints.
Oh, the tracks big and small was the peak to the south of you.
Ah, right, okay.
There's also the dead giant ant that had a peach as well. Stiiv, what peaches are you going for?
One's on the tree.
When you grab peaches off of the tree with your mage hand, the tree begins to move.
Okay, nope. No peaches,
The
bye.
tree is enraged, and it rears up and flicks out a branch. let me send you a picture. I think I have a picture. Yeah, let me share. The tree suddenly transforms, and Steve, your aberration sense goes fuck wild. And you hear a voice in your head says, "My bubbies! How dare you touch my bubbies!"
Does this tree have an innate swimming speed?
No.
Then it wouldn't. He's
Oh, being
clueless.
an aberration isn't good enough?
No, it has to be an aquatic aberration,
Okay.
elemental,
Well,
or
then
beast.
this tree will say that aloud because it can do that too.
That is a nasty looking tree.
Yeah,
There's a striking.
what used to be like a knothole in the peach tree's trunk kind of stretches open and it reveals this thorny maw. And there's obvious gore and blood within it.
An awful lot like a sea lamprey mouth.
The roots kind of spread and stretch, and you see as these where it used to be kind of like hugged and shrouded close to the ground, now that it's kind of expanded, it opens up to reveal countless bones and skulls of former peach pickers. Just checking one thing. Gotta have to check. How far away are you? Let me measure.
I have to be within 30 feet of a peach on a branch.
All right, you're more than 20 feet away. I shouldn't have said that, but I did. So it spits sap at you, Steve. Hawks up a good loogie. I'm having problems.
Leaf
Wait,
da-da-da-da-da-da.
it was a Constitution save. You rolled a 7. Do you see that? You do see that.
Yep.
All
Versus
right.
DC 14.
So you failed it, and you take some damage.
Peach tree. Does that mean it's been sampling the schnapps?
You take 18 points of poison damage.
Ow! Yeah, that's a bit of localization. Pissed me something different across the pond.
So this tree is raging and angry in the clearing. You don't see immediate signs that it's moving, though. Except for, like, in place. Roll initiative.
Because you're the most damaging of us.
Because your donkey is so chilled, your donkey is not frightened. Lesser donkeys would have been scared, reared up, and run away. But not your donkey. Your donkey stands its ground. Shaefira, what do you do? There's this raging peach tree. It looks pissed. Oh yeah, pissed means drunk. It's all these things. Let's say it is.
Yeah, no. It's fine. It's fine. It's yeah, pissed off.
It's a put out peach tree. Tisking. It's tutting. This tree is tutting at you.
Yeah. I would just like to inform everybody that I pressed I to get to my inventory. So my
Okay.
brain is
I
not
cannot tell
functioning.
you how many times I've done that.
It's yeah. Anyway, obviously tired. Right. I want to fire an arrow at the tree, but using one of my fiery arrows, but I don't know how they work.
You just add an extra point of fire damage. I don't think we set them up on your sheet, did we?
I don't think so.
So if you
No.
hit something with one of these fire arrows, I'll just add an extra point of damage. Let me see something about this pissed Petrie. And actually, they could be pissed because of the schnapps.
Mm-hmm.
What I said.
Oh, I just realized they aren't even. Okay, never mind. Nothing is not important. Oh, yes. Interesting. Okay, yes, you can do a fire arrow. I will add the fire damage.
Or I'm thinking my firebolt
You do have fire bolts.
might do more damage or be better. So,
Well, you
you know,
got what, 1d6 plus 4 versus 2d10?
yeah.
Yeah, 2d10 with your firebolt. Ooh,
But
so
I
you're
don't
level
think,
5
but I
now?
think the 2d10, but I think your 2d10 is slightly less accurate.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a
slightly
casting
less
modifier.
plus to hit, but there's more payoff.
I'll do firebolt.
All
You
right.
know, because if there is schnapps, then you know it's more fiery. Is it the attack? Yeah.
It should be a ranged attack under your spell. And you hit with a 17. Woo! And because
Oh,
it's a
it's
tree,
vulnerable.
it's vulnerable. So rather than taking 8 damage, it takes 16. That's
Yay.
not bad. I don't think one of your fire arrows could have done that.
No. I'm just gonna back up slightly
Okay.
behind Kymir. End of.
This tree is kind of angry. And it spits sap. Once. So this time it spits sap in Shaefira's direction. And Shaefira, you fail the save with an 11. You take 7 damage, poison damage. And then it spits a bunch of little darts, bark-like dart or barkish darts. Just a little teeny of splinters back in Steve's direction. Because Steve is the one who touched its bobbies.
It's boobies.
Hits with a 13. Babies. His peach babies. And takes 7 damage, piercing damage from those splinters. And then it just is kind of like you see its branches kind of do the wave, and you hear the creaking of the wood. Kymir.
Do you think things are going to get really nasty if I go up and hit it? Or should I attack it from afar? I'm going to Radiant Sunbolt it.
Okay.
I missed.
All right.
Can I spend a key point to do my 2 extra Radiant Sunbolts?
Right, yes. Okay, so the next one hits with an 18, you do 5 damage, and then you miss
And
with
then I
the
missed.
third. So a 14 misses.
Wow, so bloody high AC.
It's
Okay.
the bark hide on this tree.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's true. I am going to leave it there.
Oh, Lieutenant Blarg is dead. Let me just delete him. Steve, you're covered in
Alright, well,
sap. It tastes snappy. Kind
not
of
a
stings
whole,
your wounds, though.
not really a whole lot I can do, but I can, being the heavily injured coward that I am. Oops. Run over there. My movement. Point
And you're
my
65
fingers.
feet,
Yeah. Point
so
my
more than 60
fingers
feet.
at. Point my fingers back at the tree as I'm scrabbling and let loose some eldritch blasts.
Alrighty.
No, I'm not.
You pew pew with your Eldritch Blasts, but they fly wide. Oh, one of them was a 1. Gosh. Um, I'm gonna roll a d4 and see
Don't
what you
hit the
hit.
donkey. Don't hit the donkey.
Shaefira, you're 1. Kymir, you're 2. Donkey is 3. Dave is 4. Hits Kymir with your Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Sorry. This might sting.
Oof. 11 points of damage. It did sting, I think.
Just a tiny bit.
Anything else?
Oh, no. Sorry, that's me.
Okay. Dave is invisible. But Dave is like, gotta go! And he rides the donkey 60 feet away.
Well, that's fair. Well, I was going to tell him to keep away anyway.
He's kind of going over here. We're gonna go hang out with satyrs! Hope you don't die! So, back to Shaefira.
I kind of want to give Steve a tasty bacon.
You'll have to
'Cause
move to
he's
where Steve is.
mm,
But, he's more than 60 feet away, which might be a good thing.
And next turn, I'll be 90 feet away.
okay, all right, okay. Well, if you think you can cope with 15 hit points, Steve, then I'll just do another firebolt at the tree.
And you bolt. 15 hitting this creature. And because it is vulnerable, some leaves catch fire. And 14 points of damage.
And I think I'll just move slightly. And that's me done, I think.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Looks like Shaefira is still 60 feet away. So the tree continues to shoot a barrage of splinters. First shooting some at Kymir, but missing. And then shooting some at Shaefira, who's still in range, but also missing. So Knockwood, you got lucky.
Never mind.
And that is the tree. Kymir, it's your turn.
It occurs to me we could just run away and leave it. It can't exactly chase after us, can it?
You don't know that.
Okay, no, I don't know
You
that.
know that it didn't target Stiiv, who was very angry about earlier because his mage hand touched the peaches. That may or may not be significant.
Do we want to kill it, or do we want to run away? Screw it. Run up. I'm going to hit it with my stick. Well, ass. That was main. This
You
is
missed with your
offhand.
main blade. Yeah, main blade hit. I mean, missed. But you crit with the offhand. So you get 13 damage off of that nat 20 initially. Do the save.
Oh, come on.
And it succeeds.
Oh, shit.
So it doesn't take the electric damage.
I'm so confused, and I always think I've succeeded, not he succeeded. Right. I cannot disengage without it attacking me, so I will stay put.
Yeah, because by this time your Zephyr Strike has expired. Stiiv! You are 65 feet away.
You still have one more unarmed attack.
Oh, that's right. You do have another unarmed attack. You can kick at it.
Because you're a monk.
Oh,
And monks get to attack like
At this-
70 times a round.
Yeah.
with a hand-to-hand attack, yeah?
It's with like level 5.
Yeah, it has to be hand to hand.
Yeah.
They missed that.
But you hit with a 23. And do 6 more damage. So that was
I
some
think
kick
it's fair
for
to
that
say
arc.
it's going to be pissed a minute. Okay.
There are gouges in this tree's bark. You see there's like sap kind of drooling out of its maw, but it still seems in pretty good shape.
Would you also like to, for future reference, update your unarmed attack guide to B6 because that also increased at level 5?
Does it?
That is
Shouldn't you have
Sure
done that
does.
off
We all need to read the player's handbook and remember it more than a week.
I would have thought forgotten Fantasy Grounds would have done that for us.
No, you have to manually
Yeah, you have to
do.
manually update it.
There's a lot of stuff you have to manually do.
That is something
Like
I
the-
overlooked though for your updating your dice. I remembered to do it on sneak attack, I think, for Shaefira, but I didn't think to do anything with your punching.
Considering I didn't know I had an extra attack, I won't worry about it.
I will add an extra 1 damage because I think maybe on average that would probably be a fair amount for 2d4 versus 2d6.
Oh, well, half a D4 is 2, half a D6 is 3. So yeah, that tracks.
And Steve, it's your turn. While it's your turn, I'm going to make sure that Kymir's sheet is okay.
Okie day. With my there isn't more map to go to, so we'll just pretend I'm at 85 feet away over here. No, fuck it, let's make it an even 90. Just and oh, there it is. 2 Eldritch blasts in his face, in his spiny knothole. It's her.
Yay!
Woohoo! Spiny knothole blasted. You did 11 damage to the spiny knothole.
All right, that's 1 in the thermal exhaust for it. Let's hit the second.
And the second is a hit with a 16.
I'm still waiting for the hit conf, which means I'm probably going to reconnect in a second. Oh, there it goes.
Ooh, so another 13 damage. Whoosh, whoosh. Big gouges in this tree now, and it definitely looks like it's bloodied. Like there's this gush of sap, and Kymir can smell the fumes. It's definitely peach schnapps. This tree is bleeding booze.
Okay, that's me.
And see, Dave still cowering out of sight. Donkey with him. Shaefira. I almost called you Shakira.
I'll have another go at the old firebolt. Miss.
Oh. Are you gonna move?
Yes, I am gonna move. There.
All right, you're now what, gazillion feet away?
Yeah, far too far away.
Like
Yeah.
at least 80 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's the peach's turn. The peach tree's turn. It's taken a lot of damage and it is furious. It reaches out with one of its branches, seeing Kymir so close, and it grabs at him. And succeeds with a 22. Make a dex save, Kymir.
Dex. Hang on. Oh, come on.
Failed, which means you are now grappled in the branches of this angry tree. I'm going to add an effect to you.
Yeah. Peace.
Pissed peach tree has grappled you. Now that it is your turn,
Can I do it?
you can make another strength save to try to escape.
Got dex.
Or make a strength save this time to try to escape.
Well,
And you do. It's just enough. So you push against the strength of the branches and you hear a crack of wood. You tumble to the ground. But you're able to move.
Use up my attack, does it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to run away.
Are you doing like normal 40 feet movement or are you doing
No.
abundant step kind of key movement?
So that's disengage. I'm going to do the disengage because I suspect it will attack me otherwise rather than the dash.
don't you get both?
No, it says disengage or dash.
Ah,
So you move 40 feet away, running. And the tree is just kind of drooling schnapps and it tries to grab at you as you run away but misses. There's a branch on the ground where you broke free and the wood fell away. Stiiv, your turn.
if it ain't broke, keep shooting it.
You hit with a 22. Doing 8 damage. Kablam. There's a spray of bark in the air as your Eldritch Blast lands. And then you hit with a
Guys, a bucket of
23
hit points.
and another 11
Yeah.
hit point. The tree looks
Would it
worse
be
for wear.
more-
There are branches on the ground now. Dozens of peaches have fallen, some of them smoking because they were hit by the blast, some of them scorched, hit by firebolts.
Would it be supremely more fucked if we just walked away now?
Do you move, Stiiv?
No. I'm at although remember I'm at 90, not
Mm-hmm.
because there's no more map.
And we're at top of the order with Shaefira.
Okay, I will do a firebolt again and see what happens. Nothing.
You get to re-roll that because you're lucky.
Ah, excellent. Oh, for fuck's sake. What the actual?
Alas,
I don't know.
it misses.
Yeah. I'm
it's-
just gonna.
But it's not the kind of situation where you rolled 2 ones in a row like somebody did this game and
that's very
you
true.
hit Kymir by accident. So that's good.
Aye. Yeah, I'll just stay where I am for the time being. On to the.
All right. The tree shoots it shoots some splinters at Kymir. Missing with a 14. And then it spits sap. And Kymir succeeds against that stream of schnapps that just got spit in his general direction. So he got off scot-free. Kymir, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm not getting up close again, so radiant ball. Oh, what's the range on that?
Take the grapple off first.
Oh yeah, I need to take your grapple off.
Range is 30.
Because you are ungrappled.
Do we want to just run away? Or do we think it's like almost there?
You think the tree, you know the tree's been bloodied for a good round.
We might get XP for killing it. You never know.
Well, plus, I mean, think about it this way. At this point, we've done the equivalent of like we found a horse in the woods and we like broke its 2 back legs and like dislocated one of its shoulders and we're just gonna walk off.
Leave
Like
it.
that is supremely fucked. At least put it out of its misery.
Absolutely. You wouldn't leave your donkey like that, would you? No.
Right? No,
All
it's
right.
got to be splattered by a boulder.
Yeah.
Move to within radiant bolt distance. Did I do? Hang on, I don't think I did my key point for my step of the wind. Right, there we go.
So bolt it.
Bolted.
You hit with a dirty 20. Now, does your bolt have a higher die now that you're level 5?
I would
I
have to see
don't
how it's written.
Lord. We're
Does it
going to have
say
to
that you do
research that.
your unarmed damage.
It just says it.
What you hit the order you have isn't the standard
I
one.
feel like it should scale with his arm damage.
I would imagine it would.
Right. Assumption that we're going to go back to our house and rest after this fight.
So I'm going to add another point to that in addition to the 4 you did.
Right. I'm going to spend another key point and do my 2 extra sunbolts.
Natty 20. Sun Soul. Kymir is Sun Soul.
Wait, Matt Mercer's?
No, like in the player's handbook. Or no, if it's not in the player's handbook, it's in you know, the beholder guy, Xanathar's guide to all the shit.
Right.
So you did 11 damage with your critical, but the third one missed.
So.
And you can't kick it at this range.
No. Can I move back though?
You only move forward like what, 5 feet or so? Whatever you have remaining from your 40, you can move.
Right. Then I will move there. Move within the square.
No, it's not Cobalt Soul. It's Sun Soul.
No, I know. I'm just thinking. Mercer's was Cobalt Soul, not Sun Soul. That's just
Oh, you were making a Critical Role joke or
right,
reference.
right.
I've had too much tequila for that shit. I'm like, he's saying words that don't sound right. I don't understand. I think that was Kymir's turn.
It was, sorry.
How far are you?
The die changes as you gain monk levels, as shown in the martial arts column
I,
of the
I,
monk
I
table.
expect it does change. But Kymir is 65 feet away now.
Oh, but another point that we have forgotten about the Radiant Sunbolt is because she has extra attack, she gets to have another one even without the key point.
Oh, that's right.
I could have
So
done.
Wait, does that count as not as hand to like it's not just hand to hand? It's actually the bolty bolt.
reading from the Radiant Sunbolt right here, when you gain the extra attack feature at level 5, which she did, this special attack can be used for any of the attacks you make as part of the attack
Well,
action.
roll
So yeah,
another
she can
one.
pop.
I'm not going to move because I can't be asked, but. Well, that was a waste of time. Anyway,
That's
it
fine.
was worth
You still
to know.
it's consistency. But now we know, at least for this week, and hopefully we will remember next week.
I can do some ball extra as well.
I wish there was like a maybe I could put a post-it note in the notes, literally, but you'd have to look at the notes. I'd be like, remember Kymir can do lots of shit. He can do
I'll
many
stick it in
attacks.
mine.
I think it's Steve's turn now.
Is it? Oh shit!
It is. Well, I'm going to read and try to fix things.
That's going to be an 18 to shoot this tree with 14 damage to
And
slap it.
there's an explosion of splinters and a enormous creaking sound as the tree goes timber, collapses, and then there's millions of peaches all over the glade floor.
And that's what we're here.
Pick up the peaches.
Not
Schnapps.
Kymir.
Oh,
I don't want to
no,
die.
No, not Kymir. You and me, Steve, we'll go get the peaches and then make peach schnapps.
I'm adding to your inventory
4,000 peaches.
millions of
The
peaches.
DM said millions. Yeah.
So there's now millions of peaches in your inventory.
Dave, bring Donkey back.
Bag of holding. You can put anything you want in there.
Oh, Steve.
Lots of peaches in the bag of holding. Plenty for schnapps.
Can we buy a still in D&D?
Yes, you can.
Sure can.
And your house has plenty of real estate, plenty of room. It's got a big
Room.
floor plan. Chef Perkins knows
We've got
things. I'm
plat.
sure you could set yourself up and have a little distillery in the caverns below your house. I mean, I'm sorry,
Like a
your unfinished basement.
Yeah, we've got caves. So yeah, the basement, the caves, where you can stash your kegs.
Yeah, like a
To
peach
age.
moonshine.
Yeah. I feel a business opportunity coming on.
Yes, and because you have a mark of House Galanda, you're +4 to success in any endeavors dealing with food, comestibles, potables.
Brilliant. Right. You, Steve and Kymir can go off do the fighting and stuff. I'll just stay at home and brew alcohol.
Make your own bar. Make a bar, make a little pop-up.
Yeah.
Get street tacos. I'm assuming at this point you would like to get the hell home.
yes.
So a bit worn, a bit scraggly. There's some bruises. Are you out of tasty bacon at this point?
I have
I'm not.
two tasty bacons.
I'm out.
Steve have tasty bacons.
So you nibble, but you escort your single surviving donkey, and Dave back home to your house.
Brush the donkey down and put him in the back garden with the chickens.
You follow the trail south of Saltmarsh to your home, the not so haunted mansion. And as you approach, you see that, number one, the cannon is no longer parked out front. Apparently, at some point while you were gone, Anders repossessed it. You also see that the foliage out front has been worked on, where it used to be dead scrub and a tree in poor health. There's been some planting going on, and there's new shrubberies out in front, giving it more of a homey feel. The front steps have been repaired. And you open your front door. Do you bring the donkey inside the house with you?
Ooh,
Sure.
put him in the back garden with the chickens.
Oh,
I am not cleaning up after him.
I don't mind things that smell funny. He can sleep with me. I'll clean up after. Well, no, that's not true. Rocky's gonna clean up after him. So
As you step inside your house, it looks transformed. Where before there was trash everywhere, there was rotted boards making up the floor and the stairs. You can see that Rocky and maybe Chef Perkins have been hard at work upon repairing and remodeling your sort of home. And you step over the threshold and you see a chandelier hanging over the open entryway. The flight of stairs looks in good repair. There is a welcoming sofa and a coffee table. It almost doesn't look like your home at all. Oh, and there's a coat rack just to the left of you where someone could hang their newly acquired orange jumper
Why
or their
does
bag
it
of
say
holding. Or
I
I
ain't
don't
putting
know.
that anywhere.
This is a classy kind of place. It's really weird that you own it. And apparently Rocky and Chef Perkins really know how to make a household budget stretch.
Yeah, do we own some money? I think we do, don't we?
It's not quite the end of the month, and they've probably used up the household budget that you've already given them. But it will remain to be seen what other changes they might have made to your household next week. And we'll start off with you have had a little bit of downtime.
Yeah.
But
How close are
go ahead.
how close are we to election day? I know it's somewhere between the 15th and the 19th.
The sun has gone down on the 15th, and I think
Okay.
it's the 4 days, from 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, because it's the 19th for the.
You have
Yeah, we've got time to jeopardize
tentatively,
it.
there's supposed to be a town hall impromptu meeting tomorrow to discuss with the surviving council members the state of things. So you will have time
Guess what, guys?
to
We're not.
rest and recuperate until tomorrow. And that's where we're going to pick up. But once you pass the threshold and Dave looks around and he becomes visible again, and he's like,
Woo-wee! This place sure got better. Somebody has a vacuum. I'm Dave, I'm humanized, and this is the kind of place that humans live.
And hey, guys, we're not council members yet, so we don't have to go.
you guys called the meeting, Steve.
God damn it! These things happening when I'm not around.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve. I think you got disconnected. That was the day you were disconnected, and we like wrapped up with like, okay, we'll like meet with them later or something.
Oh, before we poisoned him?
Yeah. Everybody was like, okay, Anders is injured and Minister Copperlocks has burns that she's recovering from. So give them a day and then they'll meet with you tomorrow to talk about stuff. I think that's where the formal presentation of the lizard folk was supposed to happen rather than just dumping them off on Anders and giving your report on your time with the lizard folk kind of thing. And maybe, I mean, hearing how things are now that there's been a mudslide in the prison break and all that is. And maybe how you guys fared, and you'll find out like where you stand in the polls, and how worried should you be, and who should be worried.
I don't mean get out of Steve voice. Can we get our long rest so I can
You will get a long rest.
do my upkeep, because there's a lot of upkeep on my sheet that's about
Okay.
to happen overnight.
Um, but once you've entered and Dave has expressed his amazement at how your house looks, he suddenly gets a really scared look on his face. And he's like,
Uh-oh. You know who wants me? I don't want to go.
and he flies up to Kymir and he hugs onto Kymir really tight. He's like, I don't want to go. But then he poofs out of sight.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And that's where we'll end it. And I'll give you a
we'll
long
give him a
rest.
couple hours and call him back.
Who's you know who?
He's the guy in town with the wizard who
Hey.
on.
Yeah, his actual owner.
Oh, what? We stole him from something. Really? We stole.
Didn't steal him.
Yeah.
He decided to join us.
Yeah. He's
Because
a
we were
familiar, but
We
you
humanized him.
humanized him, so he's been hanging around instead of doing all of his work for his wizard.
Yeah. So basically, we stole him.
I did give you a long rest, right?
It's
Yes.
so in the chat.
So going to lean out a little bit and in advance. Assume that I can get, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uninterrupted hours between now and bedtime to do some scribbling. Or should I stop that right there and wait till next week?
You can have some scribbling. I mean, we're kind of picked up with like, okay, what are you going to do? How are you spending the evening? That's kind of like, now it's like early evening. You're going to have a chance to explore the house to see anything that's changed. Talk to Rocky or Chef Perkins if you need to, like, hook up with them if you want to advance pay them, whatever. You'll have time to do your ritual inscriptions if you want to do that, or identify things if you want to do that. Or if you want to go somewhere else and concern yourself with other things, you could also do that.
Well, I was just concerned because the last time we had such a nice, calm letdown, a beholder disintegrated a 10-foot cube of our wall.
Wait, that wasn't
An
this
undead
house.
beholder. Just making sure, like,
That
before
wasn't
I
this house. You have at least
before I go
until
make changes
dawn
on my
to
character
like,
sheet.
you have until like, post breakfast to worry about like how are you spending the time until breakfast is done.
Okay.
What are you on about? What's important at this point? Are you concerned about Dave? Are you like just getting a bath? Are you looking around? Are you talking to people? So think about that for next time.
Well, bath while scribbling. And I don't have enough time to do any of the stuff that I want to do after that. So that
I have some thoughts, but I'll get in touch with you during the week and let you know.
Okay.
Righty ho. Thanks, everybody.
Consider it free 12 hours.
If we have the time in the morning, 1 hour exactly, and I can find 10 gold pieces worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs, I think you know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
You're
You're
going to buy a
have
hooker.
really nice
That has something
bed.
to do with the familiar or something.
It does.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. You don't have the squintin. I think you left that squintin outside of the tower.
Yep. He's just standing outside. Well, I don't know if he's still there, but that's what
Oh,
we
he's
last
there.
left him
He's
was
outside the tower crying for poison.
Oh, good thing I
nice.
don't know that.
You know, if you don't want him, I'll take him because I can give him poison quite easily.
Please do, because I will have far too many things under my control on the map.
But you do have
Fine.
Donkey. Which I think I mistook whether or not Donkey. You could put Donkey out back or something.
Oh no,
No.
he came in with me.
Steve wanted he
Donkey
said
came
he
in?
wanted the donkey, so
Okay, Donkey in the living room or Donkey in the foyer.
I will swap Steve the
Bye,
donkey
all.
for the squirm.
Thank
See
you
you
for
next week.
playing.
See ya.
Thanks
Bye,
for having us.
Steve.
Steve.
Bye.
Steve.